You found us, and now you're listening to Heart of a Volunteer Veterans Podcast, where we have conversations with veterans ranging from our service time, development, family, motivation, and best practices for veterans. Welcome and enjoy the show.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right. Hey, welcome everyone to another episode here on the old podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Chris, and this is episode 65. And it's also a first. We have never done a pre-fight interview on the show before. And one of our veterans that we've had on the show before, SOG episode 29, actually, the one, the only, Seth One Shot, One Kill Rodenbaugh is coming on the show today. Talk about his boxing bout that's coming out January 24th. Seth, Warrior, where are you at, my friend?
Well, I think we all know it. I'm in Denver, Colorado, the Mile High City, and I am currently doing meal prep. So
Getting ready. I like it, brother.
Getting ready, nonstop.
Okay, so hey, man, it's you're a boxer and MMA.
Yes,
and
I do both.
You do both. And now you're getting ready to go in and box again. This is this is exciting, Brent, especially considering the fact that you're getting up there around the old 40s.
Yeah, I turned 40 this year, so it's creeping up on me real quick. Except for it's not creeping; it's like sprinting at me. I feel like.
Hey, so I think here's the big thing, man. As a veteran, if anyone's listened to your episode, SOG episode 29 came out in September. You've been blown up, man. You've been hurt, injured, and you're still in the gym. You're still doing the dedicated work to increase your skills, for this fight and just in life itself. What is that like, man? Day in and day out.
Well, I feel like, I don't really know how to, and I'm still, because I'm turning 40, I'm not going to be fighting a whole lot longer, but I don't really know how not to fight. I started traditional martial arts when I was like 4, boxed a little bit, kickboxed a little bit when I was in high school, joined the Army, started an Army combatives program. I fought for All Army. I was actually at the International All Army tournament the last year at Tim Kennedy. I love dropping that name because he's just so badass. I was in the semifinals almost made the semifinals of the last year that he fought at All Army and won it, obviously, because Tim Kennedy's kind of a badass. If anybody didn't realize that, he is. So it's just some sort of combat has always been part of my life.
Right.
Like it's my therapy. That's my meditation, So yeah, it's always been part of my life in one shape, way, or another.
So what?
And I'm just continuing it, I guess.
How long ago was your last bout?
July of 2017.
And then who was that against? Was that Hall or Jimenez?
No, that was against Falero. Oh man, I'm blanking on his last name. I feel really bad. He's a really cool guy. I just talked to him last week. He's awesome, by the way. I really like him.
Right.
He's a good boxer. Good guy. I talked to him last week, and that was a full boxing fight, not an MMA fight.
Right.
So
All right. So, I looked at the flyer that you put out, SpartaSE.com put out, that you put on your page.
Yeah.
So you're going up against, Quintana on January 24th, Jefferson County Fairgrounds there in Golden, Colorado. How are you preparing for this guy?
So first off, most of that is correct. Sparta Combat League, co-does shows with Airtight Boxing a few times a year. They do really big shows when they join together. Airtight Boxing is it's the biggest boxing promotion in Colorado all the time. Sparta Combat League is the biggest promotion for MMA all year round. They do a few co-shows a year. When they do a co-show, they do huge shows. I have nothing but the best to say about both of them. The promoters for both of them are amazing. Steve Mestis does Airtight Boxing. He's a huge promoter, manager in boxing. He's always been next to my side. He's a huge military supporter. Great guy. He does all the boxing, and then Sparta Combat's ran by Jeff Cisneros, another just amazing human being. He does a lot of fundraisers for veterans and a lot of veteran work. He's a great guy. When they do a co-show, it's really big. So this show is actually 2 days long.
Wow.
So the first night is going to be pure boxing. The second night is going to be pure MMA. I'll be on the first night for boxing. The part I have to correct you on is I originally got booked for an opponent I really wanted to fight. He's a really good boxer, and he's a southpaw.
Wow.
And I've never, ever gotten to fight a southpaw. I spar with him all the time. I work with southpaws, but I've never had one. I was super excited. I'm also a southpaw. So I was like, man, I get something I've never had before.
Right.
And he pulled out of the fight 2 weeks ago.
Oh, what?
He pulled out of the fight 2 weeks ago. They gave me somebody else. He pulled out. They gave me somebody else. And I started getting really frustrated because that's challenging I start game planning for somebody. So I quit game planning. I have a contracted new opponent, and I don't even care what his name is. I don't want to think about it, because if he pulls out, I know that they have a backup for me, and I just don't care who it is anymore. I don't care about the name. I'm going to go box.
And you're the headliner for that bout, right? Like the big dog.
I am not, actually. I gotta give a little promotional for one of my buddies. So somebody I've known for about 10, 12 years now is the main event. He's a phenomenal boxer. And then they signed a couple other guys. So I will be third to the last or fourth to the last. So, that I have an undefeated boxer status right now. So that means I'm towards the end, but I think they have 13 or 14 bouts. I'll be the last 3-ish.
Okay.
So, but everybody at the end is a world champion, very accomplished person, and I know them. And man, I'm just happy to be in the same ranks as them and hanging out with them. And so, the main event is actually somebody else that trains at my gym. It's a great guy. His name's LT Nelson, and he's a killer. He is awesome. So he'll be the main event, and I get to see him, most days I'm in the gym. He's in there. He works his butt off. He's a good dude, and he works hard. And so he has the main event, and that helps because everybody inside the gym that we train at is all ramped up because there's several of it. Me and him are both fighting the same event. So good stuff.
What, where are you training at, man? Your training facility?
So I recently, just last year, and it's because of my fiance, by the way. She was kind of, once I left my old gym and sold out of it and quit coaching there, she's like, well, I don't know where to train anymore. My fiance trains. She doesn't fight, but she's good. She's like, where do I go to train every day? Because I work with her all the time, but it's different when she needs to go to classes 6 days a week. And and then get pad work with me and such. And I was like, you know what? There's this guy that's down the road from me, and I've known him forever. His name's Justin Houghton. He's phenomenal. He's like, I think he's ranked number 5 at Glory in Glory kickboxing.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. And I was like, I've known him forever. I haven't trained with him before. Let's go down there. I was like, why don't you go down there and train? So, a month or 2 later, she's like, I love being there. I love the community. I love the people there. So I started popping in with her every once in a while, and now I totally signed on to being there, and I love that the team there. I love Justin's mentality of training and how he's doing. So now both of us are there, which is great because it's a family thing too now. So, a couple of days a week we show up there before Cannon even goes to school, my 4-year-old. We go there, Cannon's hitting the bag, me and Crystal get, pad work and train. I take Cannon to school and, go about our day. So, I'm with Pound for Pound kickboxing now, and most of the time, and then House of Pain boxing part-time. I've been with House of Pain boxing for 12 years now, off and on. The head guy of it's huge, amazing, oh my goodness, boxing coach, and he's always had my back. He's always been there for me. He's also the promoter and owner of Airtight Boxing, so it's always been my end for my boxing is because of him. And man, that guy, if I called him at 4 a.m. and was like, I need work, he's there. If I call him at 10 p.m., I'm like, hey, I really need to get work tonight. He's there. He's a great guy. I've known him for a long time. So I'm lucky to have those people around me.
All right. So, on top of, martial arts, boxing, that kind of thing, where, it takes, you develop control yourself at a young age, pushing your limits. For you, man, what does it mean at its core for you to be a fighter? What does it mean to you?
For me, and this is something I have to start looking forward to, is when I don't get to compete anymore, and I don't look at competition just as a sports competition or a boxing or MMA. It's just, if I wasn't competing when I was in the military, I was still in a combatant competition area where we're trying to be the best and our PT score mattered and all this other stuff. And, I'm still lost to what's going to happen really when I really quit competing, because I don't know how not to compete or how to not be part of some sort of combat something, it's,
right.
That's my therapy. That's my woo-saw, So, it means a lot to me, especially because, I got a lot of brothers that can't really compete like I do right now. And right. I know I'm towards the end of mine. And, I always think about, I believe this is a little bit of a long-winded moment, but I believe that, you always fight for yourself. It's a personal pet peeve of mine when people are like, I'm fighting for my fans. I'm like, no, you're not. You're fighting for yourself. So it's a very selfish sport. But at the same sense, whenever I walk out to a fight, one, I have the boxing gloves from probably the 40s or 50s wrapped around my neck that are from my grandfather when he boxed for the Navy.
Right.
I walk out with those gloves every time, and at the same sense, I have my dog tags around my neck, and I think about all the guys that would do anything in their power, but they're sitting in a wheelchair, or they don't have a leg, or they don't have an arm, or they have something they really can't.
Yeah. And
those guys would give anything to do what I'm getting to do. It's a privilege.
Yeah.
If I lose, I still got to do it. I never think about the possibility of me ever losing. I've lost one fight in 20 years,
Yeah.
But it's not about the winning and losing. It's about the ability to be able to do that, and so I think a lot about those guys that would give up anything to do what I'm doing. And so it's such a privilege to me that, it's pretty motivating to be able to have fun, and not just motivating to win. It's motivating to go have fun.
Right.
And I have a lot of fun with this. So
now, have you come in contact with any veterans around there that, that are missing limbs, other disabilities that are doing MMA, coming to some of the gyms that you've been at and just kind of rolling, boxing, getting, kind of beating, it's just like somebody that liked hunting before, they deployed and then they got injured, and they go out and they shoot
Right.
somehow, adaptive shooting. Is there anything like that out there?
Yeah. And I love using examples. So I'm at this jiu-jitsu gym. I'm a big jiu-jitsu guy.
Mm-hmm.
Love jiu-jitsu, love the community of it. And, about a year and a half ago, I moved to a new jiu-jitsu place, and it is very veteran and law enforcement, fire, friendly. The vast majority of the population inside that gym is one or the other. And, one of the guys there is an old group guy, and I have to add to the story a little bit because I felt like an idiot one day. I totally stuck my foot in my mouth. This guy had a knee brace on, and I just met him for the first time, and I was like, hey, I always ask about people's injuries. Like, what can you do? What can't you do? How's your knee? And I was like, hey, what's up with your knee, buddy? What do we need to do? Like, I was teaching the class, and I was like, so I know how to modify things. Like, how's things going? Like, what's up with your knee? And he's like, brain. And I was like, no, but you have a knee brace on. He's like, brain. At this point, mind you, I don't know who he is. I have no clue he's military. No, nothing. I have no knowledge.
Right.
Brain. And I was like, dude, no, I'm talking about your knee. Like, I'm like, what's the matter with your knee? He's like, brain. And I was like, oh, this freaking guy. And I was like, I'm trying to figure out what's the matter with your knee so I can help you. Like, what do I need to modify for you? How, like, what's the matter with your knee? And he's like, brain. And he got this stupid grin on his face. And I was like, dude, quit messing with me. I was like, help me out. And he's like, I'm paralyzed on my entire left side.
Oh,
and I was like,
wow.
Oh, my bad. He's an old group guy. And so he had a horrible incident overseas. His left leg's paralyzed. He wears his brace so that he can use his leg as a cane almost.
Mm-hmm. Like
and
leverage,
then his left arm just kind of, he uses it as a club. We call it lefty. Mm-hmm. And I'm totally comfortable saying that because he's comfortable saying it like that.
Right.
We just call it lefty. The lefty just flies all over, and, we train all the time. He's a great guy, man. He's just, things like that motivate me, especially at the academy I'm at. It's called Authentic BJJ.
What's it called? What's it called again? You said it real fast.
It's called Authentic. It's called Authentic BJJ.
Okay.
We are definitely a military supporter. What's funny is amongst everybody in the academy, the only person that isn't prior service is the owner. And I swear, if you ever met him, you would think he was. His name's Joe, and he just loves the shit out of us. Like, he supports military, police, fire. He does everything in his power to help us out. Like, he's always there. He doesn't care what it is. It's a good place for me to be, and that's why I went there. I knew it was kind of like that, and I found a place where I felt at home, and
mm-hmm.
now I have, another family that just I love being around. So,
Seth, let's see if we can't get the gym owner to come on, man, and just talk about what goes on there, and he can talk about himself, about what he can do for veterans in there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Without talking to him, I already know he would say absolutely yes, and he would dedicate time to it. We also have another student / part of the team mm-hmm. that runs Mission 22. Mission 22 is dedicated to our veterans that are having issues. His name is Rob Williams. He runs a radio show, and a bunch of fundraisers and a bunch of things for, trying to prevent suicide, homelessness for vets, and a bunch of stuff. And he's a great one too, that really makes it enjoyable for me to be at work,
Yeah.
So I'm working there everything but full-time. I mean, when people think full-time, they think it's a 9-to-5 job. At a Jiu-Jitsu Academy, full-time is not 9 to 5. That means we show up in the middle of the day, and we show up at night, and we show up here, and I see him all the time. His name's Rob, and he's just a great guy, and so
Hey,
he's very dedicated to.
Reach out to him too, man. Let's get him on the show, and let's talk about his passion.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about his passion. Yeah.
So.
All right. So Seth, what, who's the best right now? Getting back to, the 138 pound division, who is the best there in Colorado that you know of?
So here's where it got crazy the last few weeks is they booked me at 138.
Mm-hmm.
It was holidays and short notice. And I was like, man, 38's hard because I usually fight at 135, but I pre-warned the promoter. I was like, hey, it's holidays. I like to eat a lot of food.
Right.
Like, I don't eat junk food, but I eat a ton of food at holidays and short notice. So I was like, 38's hard for me when, I'm doing that. And I was like, I don't want to ruin my holidays. So I am now bumped up to 146 or 147, which is way easy for me. I'm all the way down to 52. I'm almost there.
Right.
I could make it in an hour if I need to just go to the steam room and make it real quick. But so if I don't have to make 38, there's a handful of guys. One of the guys actually on the card who I know, he's from House of Pain Boxing, which is one of the places, like I said, I trained at. Rob Allen, he's good. He's really, really good, but he's going all the way to 35.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be on the card. Look up to that guy a lot when it comes to boxing. I think he has 60 pro boxing fights. Not talking amateurs, not talking golden gloves, nothing. He had like 60 pro fights, and he's
Wow.
like almost. He's about the exact same age as me, and he's just he's good, and he's a grinder. He'll fight anytime. He just fights all the time. He never quits. He's a good dude. So.
Now, do you think that's how you're going to be, man? You're going to be, because I'm getting this vibe from you that, you're not going to stop training. You're not going to stop pushing your body, pushing your mind, refining your skills, picking up new skills. Is this not realistic? Something that you can do, for years to come, as long as you just, you protect yourself and take care, train well?
So I say this inside of the corporate world, which I'm dealing with right now, which I've never dealt with before. I also deal with it in training, where I say I live in this world called reality.
Right.
And am I going to be on, HBO pay-per-view boxing for the world title? Probably not, but that's fine with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, I know I'm at that age where I should be looking towards stopping, but I just don't see it. I just don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel great. I train with, 18 to 25-year-olds all the time. And, we do a 3-hour workout, that second, third hour, I'm dying out. But I'm telling you right now, that first 30 minutes to an hour is a hell of a 30 minutes to an hour to deal with me.
Right.
So, I still have it in me to fight. I'm still competitive. I think at the point when that's a challenge for me, I'll reevaluate things and I'll look at things differently. But right now, it makes me feel alive.
Right. Now what is, as far as like your family, man? I mean, like your dad, he's known, boxing's been a part of his lexicon since he was a kid, with your grandpa.
Yeah.
What does your family say? What does Crystal say about your potential longevity, maybe 5 or 6 years, 46 years old, getting your last bout, the last time you're going to lock and load and train, and train for bear. What does she think about that? Your family?
Crystal's easier. So, Crystal thinks I'm 20, I think. It's hilarious. Crystal is 10 years younger than me, and she trains more than I train. I swear she logs more hours in the gym, goes harder than me. She was a competitive gymnast her whole life. She's an amazing athlete. She's an amazing boxer. She's an amazing kickboxer. She doesn't want to compete. If she ever did, oh my God, look out.
That would be fun.
One of the only.
I saw you guys' your New Year's Eve spar. Didn't you do like a New Year's Eve morning spar? I saw your video, your spar.
Yeah, New Year's Eve, everybody else is recovering from their hangovers and stuff.
New Year's Day.
We showed up to gym, I think 7 a.m.
Yep.
And she's like, "Hey, you want to get some rounds today?" And I was like, "I thought we were just going to work out." She's like, "No, let's get some rounds." I'm like, "Okay." And she like throws her mouthpiece in, and we're punching each other.
Happy
we have a
New Year.
great relationship, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, she'll kill me for this, but if anybody's seen Californication, it's like punching and fucking, you know?
Yeah.
We have a great relationship.
That's a great series, too. That's a great show.
I'm punching her in the bedroom, but
right.
No, we have a great relationship where like we train together. If I ever needed a sparring partner, ever needed rounds, I could say, "Hey babe, I love you. We need to go to the gym," and she'd probably be ready before me. We've been training together that's how we met.
Right.
We've been training together for 7 or 8 years, and that's what, got our friendship off the basic, "Hi, how are you?"
Right.
Training together and sparring together. But no, she spars with me all the time. She hits like a freight train right away. God, she hits hard.
I imagine as a gymnast, she's probably got some shoulders that they're pretty damn durable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gymnast.
Yeah.
It's challenging sometimes. I try to be nice to her, and then she hits me harder than some of the guys I train with. And I'm like, "Hey, stop that. It hurts." But no, she loves it. She's super encouraging, but yeah, she really does think I'm not 40. She doesn't think that ever. So, which is super cool, I think, because, the age difference and everything, like, I appreciate her thinking I'm 20 still, but we all know I'm not. But yeah, no, she's always there for me. She actually corners me now.
Okay.
So she has her federal license now. I made her get her federal license a couple of years ago. And so I have my boxing coach, I'm my cut corner guy. And then she walks out to the ring with me. She walks into the ring. She's there with me the whole time.
Nice.
And what also is great is I'm so lucky to have the greatest in-laws in the world. She comes from a family of 5, so she has 5 siblings, and her parents are still together. And I get along with them great. They're not just my in-laws; they're my friends. Like I could call her dad at any time I want to. Be like, "Hey, let's go grab a beer and get some tacos." And he'd be like, "All right."
Yeah.
We do it sometimes. And then she's like, "What'd you do? What'd you do today?" And I was like, "I went out and grabbed tacos and grabbed a beer with your dad." She's like, "Okay, I haven't talked to him in 3 days." And I'm like, "Cool, I hung out with him today."
Right.
They're my friends too, not just friends. They're family to me, And so they're very supportive. But yeah, no, she walks out with me. She goes to the ring with me. She's always there for me. Doesn't matter what it is. So
what about Cannon, man? What does he remember, like your last bout, like what you look like after, or what you're, kind of the excitement of it? Does he remember that, you think?
So I have not yet let Cannon go to a bout yet.
Right.
And I'm kind of torn. Like, I don't know if it's like, because I don't want to traumatize him if I have a bad night. I also don't, like, I feel he's right at that cusp of that age where he can understand, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But he goes to sparring sessions. He goes to the gym with us all the time. Like, he understands it. I I decided this bout we're still not going to bring him to. You know, big events are crazy, and then I also don't want the weight on my shoulders of thinking like, oh, he's standing right there. Like I don't need added things in my mind, and so he won't go to this one. So we'll see. We'll see when he, you know, day by day I reevaluate how I look at that. Right. I would really like him to watch me fight one time. He's watched me fight on video before.
That's what I was going to ask. If you show him, you know, those, and what's he do, man? What's he think about them?
He thinks it's great. You know,
that's awesome.
He thinks, you know, he thinks going to the gym with us is great. He's been, like I said, he's seen sparring sessions. He's seen me and Crystal spar before. He cheers for her and not for me, which I think is crap, but you know, whatever. He's like, go Crystal, punch daddy. And I'm like, all right, thanks, dude. You're supposed to be on team daddy, but okay. So, you know.
Well, hey, Seth, you know what? I know what separates you from the rest of the folks in your division, man. You know, and I think definitely the listeners that have listened to Saga episode 29, they know you're dedicated, you know, single dad. Of course, you got Crystal now, and she's, you know, rocking and rolling, amazing. What separates you, man, from the rest of the folks that you step up against? What do you think's the difference?
Yeah, look, I was talking to my boxing coach when we first started training. He's like, "Hey, you hit hard," and I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You hit really, really hard," and I was like, "I know I do." And so I put this out here. We talk about Deontay Wilder. He's, you know, top in the world, and he has amazing right hand. Okay? He's a heavyweight, and I hit just as hard as him.
Wow.
I don't care. I hit like a freight train, and I didn't have that my whole life. But when I got into my 30s, all of a sudden I started hitting people, and I had to be gentle all of a sudden if they were a training partner because I hit freaking hard. I bench. Okay, so everybody, you know, meatheads, they talk about how much you bench and how much you deadlift. And I bench 300 pounds and I fight at 140s. I hit like a freight train.
Yeah.
I don't have the cardio I used to have. You know, I used to run distance and all this stuff. I don't quite have the cardio I used to have. Man, if I hit you one time, it's all it takes. And both sides have been the same. I hit somebody one time, and they get they start falling towards their heels. I catch them once, you know, early, and they're a different fighter because they just ate something they're not used to.
Yeah. From
a little person in their division, you know, I hit really, really hard, and I have a killer front hand hook, and I can, you know, I'm not going to compare myself to Roy Jones Jr., but I can jump into a hook or a front hand hook, not like he did. But it's similar. You know, I can lunge into his front hand hook, and man, if it lands, it's a hell of a bad day for you.
Are you going to do that on the 24th?
I guarantee that you will see a very large distance covered from me, and I will throw a hook. And if it doesn't land, my left hand will land directly after.
All right.
One or the other will land, and it'll change the game. And then that's kind of always been my thing. Like, I give you that one hard, nasty shot, and then people just every time they like look at me different. They're like, "Oh shit, I have to be really careful."
Right.
You know.
Well, you know, you always.
And I also don't mind getting hit, which is what is crazy. And this is the also part why I have to stop sometime in my near future. Is, you know, I've had a ton of concussions and injuries and stuff, but I still have a chin.
Right.
I think at one point that's going to go away, but right now I still have a pretty good chin. So my last fight with Polero, man, we were talking about it last week because every single person I've ever fought in my life, I'm buddies with after. It's competition. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's not a personal vendetta. It's nothing, you know. So me and him were talking about it, and he's like, "Man, you hit me with this jab." I was like, "I remember the jab." I threw this jab, and his eyes lit up, and he looked at me. He's like, and I was like, "Oh, I know. Now I just get to pick you apart because you're in shock almost." And I hit him with a jab.
That part,
I hit
part always gets me, man. When they get I mean, you see it all the time. They're in the ring and they're in it, and all of a sudden they're like super awake, like stunned.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got Joe Rogan jumping in there after that. So
yeah, exactly.
Get on him. He's like, oh yeah, yeah, fun.
So,
all right, Seth. So
fun times, but I'm getting excited, man. We're let's see here. We're 1 week and 3 days away.
Yeah.
So, I start getting itchy now, where everything I look at, I'm just thinking about slipping a punch and then hitting somebody again really hard. Just power punchers are fun to watch, and I love hitting people with a purpose. So I don't play pitter patter. I'm not part of that Mayweather camp.
Just getting the touches so you get the points.
Yeah, we don't play that. So I've only been to the second round once in my entire life.
Really?
Of MMA boxing once. And it's again, I keep going back to this guy because damn, he's tough. So
all right, hey, we lost you, but we got you back. Go ahead and continue, Seth.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, I've never seen a third round. I've never seen a decision. The only time I ever saw a second round was with Solero, and then I gave him a couple of really hard shots, and I thought we were done. He dropped one. He had given me one really hard shot. Now, I hate to admit that, but man, he gave me one hard shot that I just looked at him and was like, damn, bro, that sucks. But I stood there and I was good, and I didn't think we were going to the second round. And then I was so mad, and I get really emotional in my fights. I'm always a really emotional person. They pulled the stool out for me, and I had never seen a stool. So I'd never been in the second round. And so I yelled at my corner. I was like, put that fucking stool back. I was like, I don't need a stool. And I was pissed. And just adrenaline was racing. And they put that stool back. And I was pacing back and forth and looking at him. And I was like, man, he just gave me this nasty shot. And I was like, I'm going to get this dude. And then we finished that in the second round. I got to knock out that round. But
nice.
Yeah, I've only seen the second round one time in my life. My loss was the exact same way. I have one really bad loss. I got knocked out really bad in the first round. One time it was only 15 seconds into a match.
Oh.
I kind of brag about who it was. Corey Sandhagen is about to fight for the UFC belt, and he's the only person to ever beat me, and he knocked me unconscious, like bad.
Yeah.
In 15 seconds. He just caught me once really, really good. I fight to win. I don't fight to play around. I like to hit people really hard. I like to exchange. I don't dance around. Like I said again, I'm not part of that Mayweather camp where we dance around and run for people. And
yeah.
It's just not me. Like I like to get hit. I like to punch people. I want to put my hands through the back of your head. I don't want to touch your mouth. I like to hit people, and I kind of like to get hit too a little bit.
All right. So let's do this here then. I got a question, and we'll let you jump on this. Who is your dream bout against, and where? But be as descriptive as you can. Intro music, the colors you're wearing. Is it UFC or is it boxing? And who's there, man? And just like paint the picture for us.
Okay, so the dream bout, which I believe every MMA fighter probably shares with me a little bit, is, man, Mayweather got his chance with McGregor. I would love to fight that guy either in a back alley or in a cage.
Who, McGregor?
That guy pisses me off all the time. Yeah, no. I'm mixed on McGregor. No, I want Mayweather.
Oh, wow.
But I don't want to box Mayweather. I want to fight him for real. Like I said, either in a back alley or in a cage. I just want to prove that he's just a little running little, but I don't like that guy. I never have. I respect his boxing ability because he's amazingly good, but he's not a fighter. He's ran from people his whole. I love to fight that, like really fight that guy, not play pitter patter.
So what's your game plan going into that? Well, actually, what's your intro music? We got your fighter. What are you coming in at?
Intro music. Intro music is hilarious. So, everybody walks out to this, thugging music that like drops the N-bomb and I'm doing this and I'm shooting people. That's not me.
Right.
Or they come to this like heavy metal and they're like, blah, and I don't. I walk out to classical music.
Really?
Like straight piano, classical music. I don't need anything hard. I don't need anything thugging. I don't need anything to get ready to punch somebody. Man.
Yeah.
That's inside of me. I don't need that. So I usually walk out to 2 cellos. I listen to them a lot. I listen to a lot of classical music.
You said two cellos?
2 cellos.
2 cellos?
The cello songs are one of my favorites. Canon and B is another one of my favorite songs. Oh Fortuna from Piano Guys. Yeah, I walk out to classical music, man. And like, what's funny is like, you know, I usually have a ton of friends and family behind me, and when I walk out to classical music, it's hard to get really loud. You know, like the crowd doesn't get real loud; it gets kind of quiet.
They're like unexpected.
And classical music plays. Yeah, it's unexpected, and I walk out to this really relaxing classical music, and then I fight like I want to, you know, rip your head off. So I don't need any of that stuff to get me hyped up or anything. I do what I do, but you know, I enjoy a peaceful, calm walkout. I from head to toe, always in patriotic. So I have a new walkout. I don't want to say costume, but new walkout stuff.
Right.
Last time I walked out in an American flag cape, and like I always said, my grandfather's boxing gloves and my dog tags. But this time it's a little different. I changed every time. So in the post-fight, we'll post some videos. But today I just got Cannon's wearing all of it right now, by the way. But I got all my new stuff too. Yeah, he loves it. So he's wearing everything right now.
So we're going to get your intro music and photos and hopefully some video from the bout in the post-fight.
Absolutely.
Sweet,
absolutely.
Man. Hey, so Airtight, are they going to be doing, are they going to broadcast this thing? Or are you going to be able to, you know, purchase it? Or are they going to load it so we can watch it?
I'm so close to getting to that. I think I'm going to have 2 or 3 more bouts. I'm going to get on something bigger.
Okay.
Or we can do a pay-per-view or, so usually sometimes on these they do a streaming option, and don't get it. I'll send you the video the next day. It's the exact same thing. It's better quality.
Sweet.
So, yeah, we'll be able to have a video up the next day, maybe 2 days later, probably the very next day, if not the night of. But, yeah, we'll have some good video here right away. So, and I have a ton of people coming that, you know, are not just friends and family, but some of my brothers from 2nd Brigade who live in Colorado.
Yeah.
They're coming. One of my old privates, when I was a sergeant, he's coming with his wife. You know, I hate to name drop, but I've been talking to somebody who's an amazing human being. I love what he does. His family's done more than some of us have ever dreamed of. But Jeff Kyle has been promoting my fight.
Right.
He's not able to make it, but I know you know who that is. And Jeff Kyle is, for those of you who don't know, is Chris Kyle's brother. Yep. He's been promoting me and sharing the fight, and I talk to him here and there, off and on. He does a ton of help for other vets, and he's a vet himself, and not just a normal one. He's kind of one of those badass ones, you know.
Right.
His brother wasn't the only badass from the family, so Jeff's been promoting my fight a little bit, and you know, through the people that Jeff hangs out with and talks to, there's been a ton of really people that I consider heroes in my world. You know, I don't look at you know, some celebrity rapper or actor, right. You know, a hero. I think about people like that because they did something that was just amazing, you know. And so that's been pretty cool. That was kind of an awakening moment where I know that I get to do something that makes all of us excited, you know. And by us, I mean us as vets and us that have dedicated our life to not just combat in the ring or cage or, just in, combat and fighting for our country and doing good things. So
facing the challenge, man, every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Seth, man, we, all of us, man, here at the podcast, we wish you the best of luck, brother. The best of luck. Go in there, and like you said, man, just punch through the wall, man. Just do what you do.
Absolutely. I will. I will.
Hey, do you got anything for the listeners, man, before we take off?
If you lived your life doing what you do as a soldier and you're lost, not knowing what to do, don't quit being a soldier. I haven't. And it makes me pretty damn happy. I'll tell you what.
Hell yeah.
So,
Seth, best of luck on the 24th. Hey, everybody, Jefferson County Fairgrounds, January 24th. Hey, where can they get their tickets at, man, if they want to get them early?
If they're inside of Colorado, send me a message on social media. I will get you your tickets. If you get them through me, you don't have to pay taxes and fees and all that other crap that we just get ravaged on when we buy stuff.
Right.
If not, you can either show up there or online on the website.
So they can just message you through Facebook, or if they got your number, give you a shout.
Absolutely.
Okay. Seth Rodenbaugh, folks, getting ready to fight on January 24th. Best of luck, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later, man. Definitely.
Sounds good.
All right. Later. Hey, everybody. Seth, one shot, one kill Rodenbaugh. This is his second time on the show, folks. Once again, like I told you, Saga episode 29 came out in September. Seth is an amazing person. He's an amazing veteran. He is out there doing amazing things. Check out his episode. And if you can, get there to Jefferson County Fairgrounds, Golden, Colorado, January 24th, and see him fight. We'll have the video for you, and we'll do the post-fight with Seth too. So, hey, everybody, stay safe out there. Stay blessed. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll catch you on Friday. We got a great Saga episode with Matt Green. All right, later. Copyright Heart of Volunteer 2020.